Welcome back to my channel, The Girl in the Garden, and welcome back to part 2 of comparing my mom's different recipes for chicken and rice casserole. Now, don't be sticking your nose up. Yeah, I know you've seen 3 recipes, but she has one more. The other one that is left is a microwave one, and I don't really care for microwave food, so I'm not going to do that recipe. But I will be creating my own special flavor profile for chicken and rice casserole. And then I'm going to show you how you can make it really easy and have shelf-stable food in a bag. So when you have one of those nights where you don't want to cook, you're just going to dump it all in. Anyway, let's get started. These are our ingredients for our first dish we're going to do here. Cream of mushroom, cream of celery, cream of chicken soup. We got black pepper, garlic, salt, homemade onion powder, chicken broth, rice, and I'm not going to take the chicken out until the last minute, and that's because the door got left open yesterday, so we are bombarded with flies, so trying to keep everything kosher. Okay, well, I'm going to take the soups and the rice, mix them all up together, top it with the chicken, pour the broth in, and then season the chicken. Let me get to it. Time to add the chicken. Chicken is added. The half a cup of chicken broth is added. And what I did not tell you about was it also calls for lemon juice. And it has it in the line with all the seasonings. And it does not give you measurements for any of that, including the lemon juice. So I just took it and kind of drizzled a little bit, maybe a teaspoon at the most. All right, time to season. All right, our chicken is seasoned up. It's going to go in a 325-degree oven for 2 hours. Now, it does not specifically say to cover it with foil, but it does state the last half hour I uncover it. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this with foil and get it in the oven, and I'll see you in 2 hours. All right, it's time to uncover. This one looks a lot soupier than the first one, but I believe it had one more can of soup, and I think a little less rice too. All right, let's do our last 30 minutes. All right, this looks good. It doesn't quite look as soupy as it did 30 minutes ago. I kind of have a feeling when we stir up the rice, some of that's going to go away. It just came out. It's very hot, so we're going to let it rest. But just to summarize, I'm not sure I gave you all the instructions. So this calls for 1 chicken cut up. I used legs and thighs that I had, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I guess there's about 10 pieces there. I didn't want to have any leftover that I had to cook separately. So all went in. Then it just says salt, pepper, garlic, salt, paprika, lemon juice. I used, I forgot the paprika. And I used garlic powder and onion powder. I'm getting my recipes confused. Oh no. I'm sure we could top this with a little paprika now if we wanted to. 1 can of chicken soup, 1 can of mushroom soup, 1 can of celery soup, all cream of soups. 1 cup uncooked long-grain rice, and a 1/4 cup of chicken broth. The way it's written, I kind of changed up the way I did it. I didn't layer it like they said, because I thought if I seasoned well, first of all, you mix the rice and the soups. You put that down, then you put your chicken, and it says to season it, then add the chicken broth. I thought the chicken broth would kind of wash off some of the seasonings, so I put the chicken broth in first, then I did the lemon juice, then I did the other seasonings. And that's what it looks like. Yay. All right, let's let it rest and cool, and we'll get to tasting. It's that time, taste testing. I think you've got some rice and some chicken there.
This smells good.
Yes, it's very good. It is just a little bit creamier I know we're sticking our spoons back in there, but it's just him and I. Nobody else is here. It's creamier than the first one, and I think because it was more soup and less rice. But the flavors are good. I personally like the Lipton onion soup flavors, but these are good. I did forget the paprika, like I said. That's okay. All right. We are not doing the microwave recipe because not my thing to cook meat in a microwave. But we are going to make our own flavor profile. So stay tuned. And we're back with our own recipe. The flavor profile we want for a chicken and rice casserole. The last casserole, once we started eating it, I thought some of the chicken was a little bit dry. Again, the chicken pieces were small. I would have either uncovered it a little bit later and left it only uncovered for 15 minutes. My son thought it was delicious, but he took the chicken off the bone and mixed it in with his rice. So those were the last two things we had to say about that. And as you're looking at all of my ingredients, you're probably, and if you've been watching my videos for a little while, you know we like spicy stuff. So I kind of took some of the best things, the things that I like the best from the previous recipes, including part one. So I am doing this in a slow cooker. We're going to be using taco seasoning, pepper, garlic, salt. We're going to use cream of jalapeno soup, cream of cheddar soup. We're going to use some hot picante sauce. We've got some chicken broth. We've got our rice. And if it's not spicy enough at the end, I will add a can of diced jalapenos. That because we like spicy. So first thing I'm going to do is mix. I'm going to spray my slow cooker first. Then I'm going to mix the soups and the broths, I think. Hold on here. Let me see what I'm doing here. So the soups, the sour cream, which is not out. Sorry, I'm also adding sour cream to it. Chicken broth and seasonings is all going in the rice. Then I'm going to lay the chicken on top. I'm going to top it with the salsa. And then I am going to cook it on high for 2.5 to 3 hours until the chicken is good and done, not dry. And the rice, of course, is cooked. All right, well, let me get to mixing. All right, I'm getting this mixed together, and I'm going to add my chicken on top. I am using chicken tenders today, so boneless and skinless chicken. And I don't know, I probably have 1.5 pounds maybe in there. But several pieces. A couple are kind of stacked on each other because they couldn't all fit. All right, let's get our salsa on. And our salsa's on the chicken. I will put the exact measurements in the recipe in the comment below, the comment area below, or the description of my video, I guess it is. Just know that when it comes to seasoning, I don't necessarily follow my own little thought process of, oh, I need a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. We like black pepper. I always put probably twice as much black pepper as I do salt. The other thing is I was going to do just a cup of salsa. It didn't look like enough to me, so I probably have a little bit more than a cup of salsa. All right, we are going to cook this on low, and since it's chicken tenders, I'm probably going to check it in about 2 hours to see if the chicken's done and where the rice is at. We may need to go ahead and go another half hour for the rice to be done, but I'm trying to make sure I don't overcook my chicken, and I can't wait for the taste test. I'll be back in a couple hours. At 2.5 hours, the rice was done. Yay! I did have to mix it up because the rice was actually starting to stick a little bit on the bottom. So I did go ahead and mix it up. And so we're going to show you a couple of things. First, we're going to just taste test. I'm going to put the lid back on this, and we're going to taste test. We're going to decide if we want the canned jalapenos in there. Still a little hot.
It's tasty. I don't think it needs the jalapeno can.
All right, I think we're gonna do without the jalapenos. Get a little piece of chicken. That is good. So next, we're going to do a meal in a bag for you and see if we can recreate this with all canned foods, just in case we have a night where we don't want to cook. We want something easy and fast. And I'm hoping to give you a crock pot version, a oven version, and a stovetop version. Whatever's easiest for you that night is like a dump and go, quick eat, night. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Wait, I forgot to tell you. So you could eat this just like this. I did take some more rice out. You could shred up the chicken, mix it with some rice, put it on a tortilla. You can make a fried taco. You could make a burrito. You could add some beans to a tostada shell and have a tostada. I think it's pretty universal. And all the different things you can make out of it. You could probably top a salad with it. I don't know. But so there's other ways to eat it just than like a casserole. That's what we were thinking. It's kind of why I liked it, because I could do so many other things with it. And if I have leftovers, I don't have to have a casserole every night. I can throw it on a flour tortilla and have a burrito. All right, now we'll be back with the bags in the mail. Sorry, meal in the bag. All right, our last chicken and rice casserole. Oh, all right. I'm not sure you want to try all these recipes as quickly as we did. It's just a lot of chicken and rice. It didn't make them worse. Excuse me. But you kind of do want something a little bit different here and there, right? Okay, so I am just realizing, as I see my little Ziploc bag sticking up here, because I knew I was cooking this tonight, I did not think about how I would really store my rice if I was going to make a meal in a bag and put it on my shelf for one of those days down the road where I just said, you know, I'm tired, I need something I can do really fast, I just want to dump and go and be done. So before you do this, please research how you should store this. I'm assuming in a like a canning jar, and then using that vacuum thing where you vacuum out the air. This is not going to keep it well because this is not airtight, okay? But what we have here is we have a cup of rice. We have French onion soup. We have cream and chicken soup. And we have 2 cans. These are 10-ounce. 2 10-ounce cans of chicken. Oh, I got my finger cut on something. Goodness sakes. Okay, so I have been trying to figure out what the concept of this for a while. I bought a book, and I'm like, I don't quite understand. And then I found 2 different people that I actually watch on YouTube, and they were doing meals in bags. So I watched a couple of theirs. I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. So that's what I'm trying to show you today. You can get all shelf-stable food. If I was going to add any other spices, I would put them in a bag. Again, I'd probably put all the dry ingredients that needed to be in there, but I would probably put them in separate bags, put them all in a canning jar, and do that whole vacuum seal thing to keep it fresh, so I could leave it on my shelf for, I don't know, Again, you have to look at how long it's going to be shelf stable for. These, obviously, a while. This, I don't know, like I said, because I knew I was cooking it. I didn't even think about that until I came to shoot this. Okay, so we're going to start off, and then any bag. I actually am using, I couldn't find a little paper bag, so I'm using a bag from my eye doctor because I just got new glasses. All right, so what I'm going to do is, and we have done slow cooker and we have done oven. Tonight we're going to do stovetop. I'm going to use my Dutch oven because I thought afterwards, well, wait, I'm making this kind of a French onion flavor profile. How cool would it be to drop some biscuits on top and throw it in the oven and let the biscuits cook? Just an idea. I'm not going to do that tonight because I don't have any biscuits. So I am going to combine these 2 cans of soup. I'm going to drain out the juice out of these 2 cans. I'm going to reserve it in a measuring cup, and then I'm going to add water to make a cup. I'm going to mix that all together, and when it starts to warm, I'm going to add the rice, and then I'm going to add the chicken. I'm going to let it simmer, I don't know, about 30 minutes. We'll see when the rice is done, but I think in the crock pot it was about 30 minutes. I don't know. And that's it. Now, if you had chicken broth, of course, you could add chicken broth. I don't. And so if I was giving this as a meal, I would probably also add a bottle of water to make sure they had their cup of water, cup and a half. We'll see what we need when we put the rice in there. Because what I have learned is this whole thing is all about making sure you have enough liquid for that rice to cook. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. So let me get to opening and mixing things and getting them on the stove. All right, since I'm thinking about this as I do it, and I haven't actually done it before, both soups, the French onion and the chicken, cream and chicken, and then I drained the chicken, and I drained it into the can because I wanted to use up that last little bit of soup that was in here. Those 2 cans filled up 1 can. All right. So then I just added a half a can of water to this one, kind of mixed it up to get the remaining soup out of it as well. Now, I'm noticing that my chicken, I think it kind of needs to be broken up for when I put it in there. So I'm probably just going to do this in the can so I don't have to dirty any more dishes. And I can stand right here by my soups while they warm up and blend. I did use a whisk to kind of break up that cream of chicken soup that's in there. You can see I have 1 can done. I've washed my hands. I'm just going to do this with my hands since they're nice and clean. And I think I'm just going to do this. If I was tired and I was in a hurry to get this done, I wouldn't be messing around with a fork and trying to do it in the can. Let me get it done. Using my hands was a lot easier and faster than trying to smash it in the can with a fork. Let me add my rice. My rice is in. I'm going to put a lid on it. I'm going to let it simmer for approximately 30 minutes. So this literally, even with filming, has only taken me 10 minutes. This is quick. It's all one pot. All right, I'll be back when the rice is done. Well, I got to tell you a couple of things. First of all, I had not turned down the heat when I added the rice, and I should have. I forgot how much a Dutch oven will hold the heat. So I did. I came back in and checked between 10 and 15 minutes, and there was some rice that was sticking. So I kind of mixed it. I didn't scrape off the bottom because I don't want burnt things in my food. But then I'm like, okay, so I turned it to low. And then I let it do that for, very low, like the lowest setting I could put my stovetop on. And then I came back in, and the last 5 minutes, I actually took it off the burner, turned the burner off, took it off, left the lid on. So I'm hoping the rice got done. So know the pan that you're using and how much heat it holds, and the temperature, like my stove is fairly new, and so I gotta work that out. So that's what I gotta tell you. So now we're gonna taste test. All right, we've got our spoons. It's still pretty hot, so we're gonna have to blow on it a little bit. Hopefully the rice got done, since I had some problems there. Sorry, I slurped. I gotta blow a little bit more.
This is kind of boring to me.
All right. But,
I'd want more spices.
you taste any certain flavor?
No, I just taste chicken and rice.
Okay. So, I do taste a little bit of the French onion soup, but I know it's in there. I did not salt and pepper this, so maybe if we had salt and pepper, he would like it more. But without that, I would either do 2 cans of the French onion soup with the cream and chicken soup, and maybe add a half a cup more rice. Or I would leave the rice where it's at and omit the chicken noodle soup if I wanted more of that French onion soup flavor. So anyway, you have now seen crockpot, oven, you saw, and stovetop, and you saw bone in, bone out, even chicken tenders, and now canned chicken. I did do some of the research about different flavor profiles you could do. I'm going to try to put that all in the description below. You know, when you read the description of the video, it says more, you click on it and it opens a big old box. I'm going to try to put all the recipes and the things, the research I did and what I found in there so that you have it. Please know I am not a chef. I just like to play with food. So please do your own research. Don't trust mine. All right? All right. Well, this is Tina, the girl in the garden. Tonight I'm in the kitchen. I'm going to add some salt and pepper to this, and we're still having it for dinner. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe. Share with your family and friends. And thank you for spending time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.